It's a quiet Sunday afternoon, and I find myself alone in our shared apartment. The sound of the city's lazy hum barely trickles in through the open window. Jenna, my girlfriend of 3 years, is out for her weekly yoga class, leaving me with a few hours to myself. Restlessness gets the better of me, and despite knowing better, I find myself drawn to the sleek black smartphone resting innocently on the coffee table. I tell myself it's just idle curiosity, a harmless glance, but deep down, a nagging doubt whispers louder than my better judgment. I pick up the phone. It unlocks with a touch, recognizing my fingerprint. A privilege Jenna insisted I should have, just in case. I start aimlessly swiping through her apps, not looking for anything in particular, until I tap on her gallery. It's mostly filled with the usual selfies, pictures of our cat, miso, random shots of brunch plates. But then a thumbnail catches my eye. It's Jenna at a corporate party, a setting I recognize from her stories, but the familiarity ends there. In the photo, Jenna is with a man I've never seen before. They are smiling, his hand enveloping hers, their fingers intimately laced. Both look too comfortable, too close. A chill races through me as confusion and a sense of betrayal begin to set in. My heart pounds against my chest like it's trying to break free from the betrayal it senses. Scrolling further, the images tell a progressively revealing story. The next photo shows them with cocktails, leaning in close, whispering. Another swipe, and the setting shifts to what looks like a dimly lit bar. Their bodies are closer, her hand on his chest. My throat tightens as I swipe again, and this time the images burn into my retinas. Less clothing, more skin, undeniable intimacy. My mind races. Fury builds with each pounding heartbeat. I feel sick. The room spins as if in sympathy with the turmoil inside me. The Jenna I know, the Jenna I love, couldn't be this person, could she? Yet, here she is, captured in pixels and undeniable betrayal. The phone almost slips from my shaking hands as I decide what to do next. Revenge. The word echoes through my mind, resonating with the dark parts I've never dared to explore. She has to know this pain, this betrayal. My plan begins to take shape, systematic, precise, merciless. It would be a revenge that would leave nothing the same, transforming everything we were and everything we would never be again. As I sit there staring at the damning evidence of infidelity, the front door clicks open. Jenna's voice, bright and cheerful, calls out, "Babe, I'm home. Miss me?" I slide the phone down beside me, my face a mask of normalcy as I call back, "Yeah, just wondering where you were." She rounds the corner, smiling, oblivious to the storm brewing inside me. "Anything interesting happen while I was gone?" she asks, her voice light and carefree. I force a smile, my voice steady. "Nothing much, just the usual Sunday." But inside, everything has changed. The game has begun, and I am nothing if not a player. Monday morning finds me at a corner cafe, my laptop open but my mind elsewhere. The digital clock on my screen ticks away, marking the time until my meeting with an old friend. One I know I can trust, or so I hope. Vincent arrives, his figure cutting through the morning mist, a stark silhouette against the overcast sky. He spots me, waves a wide grin splitting his face, and as he settles into the chair across from me, his expression turns curious. "You look like hell, man. Everything all right?" Vincent's voice is tinged with concern. I hesitate, then decide there's no going halfway. I slide Jenna's phone across the table, the incriminating photos queued up. His eyebrows rise as he swipes through them, his casual demeanor turning serious. "This is heavy, Mike. What are you planning to do?" Vincent asks, locking the screen and pushing the phone back towards me. I lean in, lowering my voice despite the early hour and few patrons around us. "I need to know everything about this guy. Who he is, what he does, why Jenna." Vincent nods, his eyes narrowing slightly. "I might know someone who can help. A private investigator. Used him once for a corporate issue. He's discreet, thorough. Set it up. I want details, Vinny. I need leverage." Vincent doesn't question further. Instead, he pulls out his phone and steps away to make the call. I watch him, grateful for his unquestioning support but feeling the weight of what I'm about to do. Revenge is a path with one direction, and I'm already too far down it to turn back. When Vincent returns, he's somber. He'll meet us tomorrow early evening. Says he's got some time to squeeze us in. Thanks, Vinny. Really? He nods, claps me on the shoulder. Anything for a friend, you know that. But Mike, be careful. You're playing with fire here. The rest of the day drags on. Work is a blur. Every task overshadowed by the images burned into my memory and the plans forming around them. By the time I get home, Jenna is already there, cooking dinner, humming a tune that stirs a mix of emotions inside me. Hey love, how was your day? Her voice is sweet, oblivious to the storm she's unknowingly ignited. Same old, same old. Yours. I keep my tone neutral, watching her from the doorway. Good. Had lunch with Emily today. She sends her love. Emily, her best friend and confidant. A sudden idea strikes me, use every resource, every connection. I need more allies, more eyes and ears. Tomorrow, I would reach out to Emily, under the guise of planning a surprise for Jenna's upcoming birthday. Maybe she could shed some light on Jenna's activities, or slip up about the mystery man. Dinner passes in mundane chatter, but my mind is elsewhere. Plotting, planning with each smile Jenna gives me. Each touch I steal myself further away. This is the calm before the storm, and I am the stormbringer. As we head to bed, Jenna's phone buzzes with a message. She checks it quickly and smiles, typing a response. My jaw tightens as I watch her. The facade of normalcy we both wear is more fragile than ever. Tomorrow, the game moves forward, and I'm ready to play. The following evening feels charged with an electric tension as I make my way to a nondescript coffee shop where I am to meet Vincent and the private investigator. The air is crisp. Autumn asserts itself as the leaves crunch underfoot, a stark contrast to the turmoil brewing inside me. Vincent is already there, seated in a secluded corner with a man dressed in a dark coat. His eyes are sharp and assessing as I approach. Vincent introduces him with a nod. Mike, this is Carl, best in the business. Carl extends a hand. His grip is firm. Heard a lot about your situation. Let's get down to it. We sit and I relay the story, showing Carl the photos I had found. He listens intently, occasionally nodding or asking a pointed question. When I finish, he sets his coffee down. His expression is unreadable. I can start with a deep dive into her social media, friends, colleagues. See if our mystery man pops up anywhere. I'll need full access to everything you can give me, Carl states, pulling out a notepad. Do it, I say without hesitation. Carl's eyes meet mine. A flicker of something, pity perhaps, passes through them before he masks it with professionalism. I'll need a couple of days. I'll dig through everything, see what connections they might have that aren't surface level. Vincent gives me a reassuring look as Carl stands to leave. Trust him, Mike. He'll find what you're looking for. As Carl departs, Vincent turns to me. You okay to go through with all this? I have to know, Vinny, no matter what. The conversation shifts as we leave the coffee shop. I'm meeting Emily tomorrow. I tell him, my plan is forming more solidly with each step we take. Good, he says. Keep close to those around her. Might give you more insight or at least keep your enemies closer. Vincent advises with a serious tone. The next day, under the pretense of planning a surprise party for Jenna, I meet Emily at a local bistro. She's vibrant. Her laughter is easy and infectious, but I can't help but filter everything through a veil of suspicion. Mike, it's so sweet of you to do this for Jenna, she exclaims, clapping her hands excitedly. She won't expect it. I nod, playing along. I wanted to ask you, Emily, about Jenna's friends from work. Anyone special I should invite? Maybe someone she's gotten close to? Emily pauses, her fork midway to her mouth. Well, there's Tom, but you know him, right? And there's also Greg. Came to the company a few months ago. They've been working on some projects together. Greg, a new name, a new lead. My heart skips a beat. Greg, huh? Haven't met him. What's he like? She shrugs, sipping her wine. Nice enough, a bit quiet. Why should I invite him? I say quickly, a little too eagerly. Yes, invite him. It'll be good to meet Jenna's colleagues. We part ways with a plan set for Jenna's surprise party. But my real focus is now on finding out everything about Greg. If he's the man in the photo. I need to know, and I need to know what they've been up to. That evening, Jenna is late coming home. Her texts are sparse, and when she finally arrives, there's a flush to her cheeks, her smile a bit too bright. Long day, I ask, trying to keep my voice casual. The longest, she laughs, dropping her keys on the table and wrapping her arms around me. But it's good to be home. As she hugs me, I can't help but feel the divide between us. A chasm filled with secrets and lies. She's close, yet so far. Her embrace is both comforting and suffocating. I need to know the truth, and I'm close, so close to finding it out. The tension is palpable as the date of Jenna's surprise party approaches. I spend the days leading up to it in a haze, alternating between fury and fear. Each piece of information Carl provides only serves to tighten the knot in my stomach. Greg is indeed the man in the photos, but there's more to the story than mere infidelity, a complexity that Carl is close to deciphering. On the evening of the party, the venue is elegantly decorated, filled with laughter and light, a stark contrast to the darkness churning inside me. Jenna is radiant, genuinely surprised. Her joy catches me off guard. My heart aches with a mix of love and betrayal. The sight of her smiling up at me is both a balm and a poison. As guests mingle, I notice Greg standing off to the side, his demeanor calm yet watchful. Seizing the opportunity, I pull him aside. Greg, right? I'm Mike, Jenna's boyfriend. Greg's eyes flicker with recognition, then caution. Yes, I've heard a lot about you. Pleasure to finally meet you. The casual chit-chat feels surreal, but I dive straight in. I've seen pictures of you and Jenna together. Seems like you've gotten close. Greg stiffens, his gaze shifting. Jenna's a great colleague, but if you've seen pictures, then maybe you've seen them out of context. Before I can press further, Carl texts me, urging me to step outside. I excuse myself and find Carl waiting with an envelope in hand. His expression is grave. This is it, Mike. You sure you want to go through with this? Nodding, I take the envelope, my hands trembling as I pull out the contents. Photos? Texts? But it's the documents that catch my eye. Travel receipts, hotel bookings, and a detailed report. Jenna and Greg were not just having an affair. They were working together on a major project for her company, one that required discretion. The project could make or break their careers. Carl's voice breaks through my shock. The company was testing them, Mike. It wasn't just about work. It was a test of trust, loyalty. The photos, the trips were staged to mimic a scenario of deceit. It's a new strategy by her firm to test employee integrity under pressure. The revelation hits me like a physical blow. My plan for revenge, based on a misunderstanding, now feels foolish and cruel. The layers of deceit, both real and fabricated, meld into an indistinguishable mess, and I'm left reeling. Back inside, I pull Jenna aside. The noise of the party fades into a dull roar. Jenna, I need to talk to you about Greg, about the photos. Her face falls, and she takes a deep breath. I was going to tell you after tonight. It was all a test, Mike, for work. There's nothing between us. The honesty in her eyes is undeniable, and the walls I had built crumble in an instant. I thought, what did you think? I ask, my voice trailing off. You were cheating. I saw the photos, the texts. My voice is tinged with shame. Jenna steps back, her expression one of betrayal. Now you didn't trust me enough to ask, to talk about it? I reach for her hand, desperation seeping into my words. I'm sorry, Jenna. I was wrong. Can we fix this? She looks at me, her decision palpable in the pause that follows. Then slowly she nods. We can try, Mike. But we start with honesty, complete honesty. The rest of the evening passes in a blur. A mix of apologies and tentative reconciliations. As guests depart, Jenna squeezes my hand, a silent promise of hope and healing. The night ends not with the revenge I had planned, but with the beginning of forgiveness and a new understanding. Trust, once broken, is hard to rebuild, but as Jenna leans her head on my shoulder, I know it's worth every effort. Love, after all, isn't just a feeling but a choice, a decision to forgive, to understand, and to start anew.